Hello there, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Hopeful Homeschooling Podcast, where we find help, hope, and humor in everyday homeschool life. If we've never met before, my name is Kelly, and I am so glad that you are joining me for today's episode. We are in a series on how to start homeschooling, which, boy, don't I wish I had this when I started. All right, so I am reading from notes, so please forgive me for kind of jumping around here. Now, like I said, we are in the middle of a series, and this is our fourth episode. So if you want to get caught up on the other three, please go back to wherever you are watching or listening to this podcast and start right from the beginning. We have touched base on some amazing things so far, including the 5 simple steps you need to get started homeschooling, what you need to start homeschooling today. And the last episode, we talked about what homeschooling is and what it is not, right? If we're going to talk about it, we might as well give a great definition to it. So today we are talking all about how to start homeschooling and a look at your family with the hope that we are going to build a homeschool that fits your family, right? Because homeschooling is unique. It is individualized and personalized education. And so that means what works for my home may not work for yours. And what works in this season may not work in another season. Homeschooling is fluid. We are not rigid. We are not stuck in our ways. Even if you, like me, are a type A who prefers a perfectly curated plan and system. Homeschooling requires flexibility, and we're going to do it. Right? Homeschooling, my friend, it might seem like a daunting and monumental task, but I am here in this series and on my website, Hope in the Chaos, to help you get started and get going. I do not want you stuck and floundering like I felt when I started homeschooling more than a decade ago. Because I know that once you've made the decision to begin homeschooling, boy, it feels like you are now climbing your own personal Everest, right? Especially if you are starting your homeschool with your children already in the public school system. And that's where we started. We withdrew our children in the middle of their school year. And boy, I did everything wrong. Every single thing wrong. But that just means I have a lot of experience to share with you from our 10 plus years of homeschooling, right? So I don't want you to face, though, the twists and turns and the snow caps of Everest, that is homeschooling, on your own. I want to come alongside and help guide you and share this experience with you. Because if there's one thing I have learned most over the years, it's that homeschooling is best done with community, with other homeschoolers coming alongside, people that can say, yeah, that's totally normal, or someone that can listen and be a sounding board when you don't know which curricula to pick or whether or not it's time to do an evaluation. Perhaps you just are frustrated and you need to know that, yeah, it's okay if your child's still not reading in first grade. That's a big one. Okay. However, with some careful planning, some research, some support, and a willingness to jump in, your family can embrace a lifestyle of home education. And it truly is a lifestyle, friend. We talked about that a bit in our last episode, that homeschooling is more than just making sure we're learning Monday through Friday from 8 to 3 or whatever. It's a lifestyle of learning that embraces curiosity over checklists and encourages following the curiousness that is life. So let's not waste any more time, right? We're done with the intro. Let's get to the good part, shall we? Um, if you'd like to, grab a cup of coffee or tea, right? A huge fan of green tea. Because I'm going to try not to make this video too long. Um, but if you and I, if we've shared more than a few videos or blog posts, you know I have the gift of gab, friend. And this platform where I am recording doesn't give me a timer, so I have absolutely no idea how long I've been going. I've got some notes though, I've got some ideas, and I have a heart for you and your homeschooler. So let's dig in, shall we? And figure out how you can build a homeschool that fits your family. Now, I'm going to tell you, friend, that one of the greatest gifts you can give your family is a homeschool that fits their needs, right? Now, this means that comparison will steal your joy, right? So please don't look at my homeschool and think that yours should look like mine. Mine is over 10 years old, right? Please don't look at another family at the co-op's homeschool and compare your homeschool to theirs. You have an infant homeschool friend. You have a brand new homeschool. So there might be some hiccups. There might be some struggles. There might be some curriculum choices that don't work out. I'm going to tell you right now that happens to all of us. We all make shifts mid-year, partway through. We add, we subtract, we adapt, we improvise, right? But I'm going to tell you that your homeschool doesn't need to look like anyone else's. So if you're on Pinterest looking at homeschool rooms and routines and you're just feeling bogged down and overwhelmed, I'm giving you permission right now to be done. You don't have to. You don't have to have a perfectly curated schedule. You don't have to have a wonderfully decorated homeschool room. In fact, we've never had one. I have homeschooled for more than a decade from my living room couch, from my dining room table, from the back of the minivan when we had the minivan. We've done it outside, at the park, on field trips. We have homeschooled here, there, and everywhere, right? And your family rhythm, the ages of your children, your energy levels, and even the seasons of your life all matter. And your homeschooling is going to reflect that. There are seasons where our homeschool is busy, and perhaps we're doing more learning, less family stuff. There are other times we're doing more family things and less book learning. Doesn't mean less learning, though. Remember that. Okay. So before you start planning out your perfectly curated homeschool day, because I know you want to, I know mom to mom that you want everything to be perfect. You want to do this right. You don't want to leave anything up to chance. This is your child's education after all. But friend, let's stop. Let's consider a few things. How many children are you teaching? Are you starting right in pre-K or are you jumping into middle school or even high school? What family needs are there? Is there perhaps an odd schedule? Is there a learning disability? Is there a health issue? Do you have extended family living with you? Or is someone coming to visit for an extended stay? Right? Do you have one child that you know is a bookworm, but another who just can't fathom the idea of picking up literature? Okay. Do you have a child that's really into outdoor activities? They don't sit still. Perhaps you suspect ADHD, but you know you don't want to go down the road of diagnosis. That's okay. It's your home. It's your homeschool. It's your family. You're in control. What does your daily life realistically look like? Do you have a lot of outside obligations? Perhaps you work part-time or from home, right? I do. We juggle my part-time work from home alongside our homeschool. I also help run a homeschool success group, including our sports team. And so during sports seasons, you can bet we adapt our homeschool schedule around our sports schedule, right? So what does life realistically look like? These are the three things, right? I think I added an extra question. There's three in my notes, but I think I added one. These are some of the things that you want to consider. Homeschooling should be flexible because life needs to be flexible. We can't always say, yep, we're learning from 8 to noon. Sometimes there's an appointment. Sometimes there's a family emergency. Sometimes the repairman can only come between 8 and 11 in the morning. And those are all okay. Perhaps you have a spouse that works a funky schedule, nights, weekends, holiday shifts. That's okay. There is no hard and fast rule that says school has to start in September, has to be out in May or June. There's no rule that says you have to be learning unless you happen to live maybe in one of those, I only know homeschool laws for the states. So maybe your country, right? Perhaps you have a country that states otherwise. But if you have the flexibility, and more importantly, if you have the opportunity, let your children learn outside of normal hours. I know I mentioned it in another video, but my son worked during his Christmas break on some woodworking. He was developing, he was researching, he was creating, he was grinding, he was learning on his break, totally independent and unassigned from me. And that, my friend, is homeschooling. Now, I understand some of us, me included, I am much more of a type A. I prefer a schedule. I love it. I will color code it, I will laminate it, and I will make it beautiful. And some seasons in your homeschool, they can be structured. And for some families, they need the structure. Some children need the structure. When I was asking my homeschool families via emails and inside my group, some of them didn't take Christmas break. They need the structure. And that's okay. Some families take an extended break because they need tradition and time off. Also okay. Some seasons in homeschooling, though, they're survival. If you end up with a family member in the hospital or a health scare, you enter survival mode. I know that. We did that here in our homeschool a couple of years ago now when I had cancer, right? We went survival mode. If the kids learned, great. And if they didn't, that's okay. They learned a lot through my journey about the human body, about oncology appointments, and about life, right? Both seasons count, though. I don't want you to write them off. I don't want you to discount them. And I don't want you to think that because you don't have the availability or the option of setting up a traditional type of school that you can't homeschool. Because of course you can, my friend. We come in all shapes, sizes, and varieties. Some people follow a traditional calendar. Some people follow the rhythm of their heart. They both count and they both work. Now, friends, I dig much deeper into accommodating your family's specific needs inside the Complete Beginner's Guide to Homeschooling. And I would love to help you build a homeschool that works with your family rather than one that goes completely against the grain. I would love to help you figure out the best rhythm, the best systems, and the best approach to homeschooling. And the best way that I can help you is through the Complete Beginner's Guide to Homeschooling. Now, normally I sell this ebook. It's almost 100 pages long and it has workbook pages that you can print right inside of it. Normally I sell it for $17, but I don't want to do that because I remember that starting homeschool, oh, nerves, fear. You don't know. You don't know who you can trust. You don't know who to listen to. So I remember that. And so I want to help you. So during this series, as a part of this 7 to 10, I haven't decided how many videos we are making on this. Like I said, I have the gift of gab. But as part of this series, I am offering you $10 off the Complete Beginner's Guide to Homeschooling when you use coupon code GUIDE, GUIDE, at checkout. It's super simple and it makes your copy of the ebook just $7. I mean, that's one fast food run, right? I don't know. I don't eat a lot of fast food. But it's a good comparison, right? It's not much. And it's just enough for you to say, I'm going to put some skin in the game because I know that investing in my family through this ebook is totally worth it. So, friends, I'm going to put the link down below to the Complete Beginner's Guide to Homeschooling so that you and I can continue this conversation about your family and help you build a homeschool that fits the needs of your home, one step at a time. So you can find the link below. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kelly. Have a wonderful day and a happy homeschooling.